Hey everyone, welcome back to Five Nights at Terrace, a podcast where I, Bella, talk about mysterious events that happened in US history. Now, I have to warn you, today's episode will be unsettling. Listeners, beware. With all introductions and warnings aside, let's get into it. At 4:27 p.m. on Thursday, December 20th, 1972, Mary Reiner was leaving Snowdown High School after mentoring the chess club. Exhausted, she exited the building and headed to her car. However, on the way, she spotted a torn piece of fabric next to her car, seemingly leading to the forest. Reiner went into the forest and picked the fabric trail, but nearing the end, the fabric began to turn bloody. While frightened, she could not bear the thought of an injured student and pushed on. However, what awaited her was nothing short of her worst nightmare. At the end of the trail, she would soon discover the body of Angela Reed. The police and investigator David Fox were called to the scene. Quickly, CSI were able to recover chunks of hair in Angela's hands, seemingly torn out in a struggle. Now, dear listeners, you may be wondering, why didn't they just analyze the DNA on the hair? And the answer is simple. In the 1970s, DNA profiling did not exist. While the hair in Angela's hands could be studied, it could not lead back to her killer. No DNA, no matches, just fragments of clues surrounding Angela's tragic passing. So, investigator Fox did the best with what was available. He went to Snowdown High School and interrogated potential enemies and friends, who all had solid alibis on that date. However, one raised suspicion. Angela Reed's boyfriend, Michael Lancer. When questioned, he angrily refused to answer and immediately called for a lawyer. After this incident, Fox began to investigate deeper into Lancer's background. Michael Kaiser Lancer, son of billionaire tycoon Oliver Lancer, straight-A student with a clean record. Yet, he could not find any evidence against him. Just when things were about to go dark, Fox received a phone call. A call from Mary Reiner. She told him that Angela had been secretly pregnant for a month. Suspicion was at an all-time high. Now, Lancer had a motive: to cover up the pregnancy to save his image. But it wasn't enough to convict Lancer. Fox went back to Snowdown High School to investigate further. The evidence he gained was shocking. According to the hiking club, they claimed Angela had been acting strange a week before her murder. She had often looked afraid of Lancer and flinched whenever he raised his hand. He was also seen slipping a note into Angela's backpack, which the president recovered, and it read, "Tell anyone, and I'll make sure you'll be dead." Not only that, on the day of her murder, the chess club claimed that Lancer had accompanied Reed home because she had forgotten her chessboard. She told them she would come back, but she never did. Finally, the evidence that tied it all together was that the pieces of fabric found at the crime scene had matched the clothes he was wearing the day of Reed's death. With solid evidence in hand, Fox took Lancer to trial, but he was pronounced innocent to the murder despite the proficient evidence. This case was extremely controversial. Some believed he was innocent, while others believed his father bribed the judge. The case eventually went cold as investigator Fox put the culprit's hair in a case file and closed the case. However, this isn't the end. 20 years later, forensic technology advanced enough to find the killer, and sure enough, they caught the culprit. Plot twist. It was not Lancer. It was Mary Reiner. Mary Reiner, now age 68, admitted to her crimes 20 years ago. As for her motive, I'm afraid we'll never know. Before her court date, she ended her life. While the mystery continued, theories began to rise. Did the Lancer family force her to commit the murder? Or was she jealous of Reed's success? While many theories are speculated, the real truth remains a mystery. That's it for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. See you all next week for another episode of Five Nights at Terrace. Goodbye.